This episode was called Feel Her Love, but this show certainly is not feeling our love. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review Season 2, Episode 5 of The Last of Us, Feel Her Love. Well, you know what? I'm afraid to say it. This show kind of sucks. You know, it's going down faster than a plane with no wings, and that is very fast. It's nosediving. For me, I mean, it might not have crashed on the dirt, but, I mean, it's seconds away from doing so.
Aye, it's done. I tell you what, very hot in the Fog Studios tonight. But this episode was cold, and it wasn't stone cold. It was just 44 minutes, right?
Of nothing.
Nothing, no meaningful dialogue. The pacing's all over the place. I mean, like 1 minute they're running through like an industrial plant, and then they end up in this forest. Which the production, which value of this show, which I think's been good. Is it me or did this park where the scars were set up feel like a fucking movie set with a couple of trees strung together and a bit of ivy on the walls?
Yeah, pretty much. And I just don't understand it. Why would the wolves allow the scars to be this close to their fucking setup?
Yeah, like we're talking like a stone's throw.
Like, see if this park is like such a small area, why wouldn't they just go in one night and secure it and eliminate them? Since they're both enemies.
Yeah, and it looks,
oh no, we don't go in there.
It looks bad maybe at night, but I'm sure during the day, this 1 square foot park, however the fuck it is, it doesn't look that intimidating. And they're all like, oh, we can't go in there.
No, but both groups are hunting each other down, yet
they live on each other's doorstep.
Yeah, it's fucking mental, isn't it? Anyway, we start the episode and there's a woman and we get introduced to another woman, I think a Korean woman or whatnot. Makes sense because the white woman is like one of the leaders of the wolves. I think she might actually be the leader of this. I don't know if she's the leader of the entire thing. Probably is. And then the Korean woman appears to be like the leader of the wolves' military wing. So basically, it's two women that are in charge of certain parts of the wolves. So therefore, you don't need a man in sight. And when you do get a man, obviously it's going to be Isaac because he's the other guy that defected. So yeah, no need for men. Kim explains that her son was in one part of the building and he found the spores, and luckily he was able to tell them that this part has to be closed off because of the infection. But unfortunately, she lost communication with him and he died. Or at least they're assuming he died because he would have been infected. So that's the start of the episode. The woman tells Kim, the leader of the wolves, says, you've done a good job there. Sorry about your loss. I guess she managed to close off the area and keep her son and the rest of the crew trapped in there. So congratulations. Right, we then get the next 10, 15 minutes, and I'm not even joking when I say this. It was just Ellie and Dina walking around Seattle with dialogue that means absolutely nothing and joking about, coming up with a plan, drawing maps, laughing, just like Joel's not fucking dead, really. I'm not buying it, man. You're not buying that Ellie here wants revenge on Joel. See, I watched Rocky 4. I can buy that Rocky beating Drago and getting revenge for Apollo means absolutely everything to him.
Yep.
I'm just not buying that Ellie gives a fuck here about Joel. You've had this 3-month time skip. She's been laughing around, joking around. Joel, no one is buying that these two are on this mission that they can't afford to fail to get revenge on Joel.
It feels like a lover's quarrel, in Seattle. Doesn't, and you're right, it was 15 minutes of fuck off. Honestly, only one line I can remember, and it was something to do with, I went to school, fuck you, or something like that. See tomorrow, a week, 2 weeks from now, what lines are you going to remember for this episode? What lines are you going to remember from this show? No, it's actually incredible. It's like, there's 2 games. The first game, you know what, see if we just copy it exactly with a TV show, it'd be fucking great. And see the second game, it was that shite. If you just do anything slightly better, it'll be an improvement. What do they do? Drop the fucking ball. How do you drop the ball twice with 2 different games, at 2 different ends of the spectrum? That's incredible.
People should have seen this coming, because the first game was great, and the first season wasn't. So if the second game's not great, then what chance has the second season got to be anywhere near as good as the first season?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, well, you know what? Yeah, they dropped the ball in the first season, but at least they can maybe redeem the second game, and then they make it even worse. People are praising the second game because how bad this is.
They go into a building that the wolves never search or explore or never use, and it turns out the reason I guess they don't do it is because it's got a shitload of these smart infected. So there's like probably like 8 of them in the corner. Dina and Ellie. Ellie tells Dina to run into this like cage area, hide in there. I mean, I get it, but she goes in there and she gets trapped and she runs out of bullets, and then these infected begin to start, breaking through the cage. So I don't know why you would trap yourself into an area where there's literally no way out. It's different if you're convinced it's secure and that you can maybe stay in there to help, but if you're going to lock yourself into an area where it's only a matter of time before it gets broken into, then you're just fucking forcing yourself into a corner.
See another thing, right? Do you not feel like? I mean, I get it. There has to be elements of danger and drama, but it's like every 10, 15 minutes, Ellie and Dina just get themselves in a situation that they realistically shouldn't survive, and like their survival instinct is like fucking basically zero. It's like, see, going into this massive open room that they're like, here, there's probably not a horde, but they even said before entering the room, there's probably going to be about 7 infected and maybe 2 clickers. We can deal with that, but remember, no guns. So they go in, and there probably was about 10 of these things. But, they're smart. Now we have to use the guns.
Also, you look at the entire first season, it's like fucking they barely ran into any sort of confrontation or enemies. Like, there was literally nothing for Joel to do. I mean, these two have had more combat in season 2 than Joel ever had in season 1. It's just I don't get it, man. They went from having a lot, and I'm not saying the show's action packed now, but it does feel like I think that the infected don't even feel fucking like a threat anymore. And like The Walking Dead, I think did a good job of keeping the infected as like the first 2 seasons. The infected felt like a really big deal. Season, I mean, already in episode 1 of the premiere this season, they're talking about taking down 2 clickers. That's nothing. It's like, what the hell? Anyway, Ellie says that she can get bit loads of times. Dina can't. About 4 of these infected jump on top of Ellie. How they're not biting her, I don't know. Then we get gunfire. Is it the wolves? No, it's Jesse. He's here. He's saving them. He wiped them out pretty easily, if you ask me. He says, Ellie, were you bit, Ellie? And Dina says, no, I was watching. She wasn't bit. It's like,
there's no way you could tell.
I mean, there was like 3 or 4 on top of her. First of all, how the fuck was she not bit? And let's just take that out. Let's take that out of the equation there. It's like, how would Dina, watching from that far away,
like 30 feet away,
with all the infected on top of her, how would they know whether there was a wee bite or a wee scratch in there? Do you know what I mean?
And also, I can afford to get bit 5 times. You can't really, because
even one bite in the fucking throat or something, you could be dead. So
no, but is that not a joke though, right? Look at every bite she's received. The bite mark's been minuscule. Seeing the last episode where she get bit, it looked like a pretty hefty bite, and then it's turned out to be nothing. I just don't get. I feel like the bites in this show are just non-existent.
Yeah,
there's no chunks. It's like nibbles.
So they make their escape. Obviously, the gunfire for Jesse brought out the wolves or whatnot. So the wolves are now chasing them. They run into like a park. Or Fedra, or whatever, I don't even know who it is at this point. So they run into like the park.
And then they come across the weird people.
Yeah, the scars, and the scars are sacrificing somebody. Somebody's getting hanged up, and then he gets sliced down the bottom, the middle, or whatnot. Ellie's pissed off.
But it's ridiculous. As we said at the start, it's like they are so close to each other's doorstep, it's ridiculous. And there was like no like scene cut. They literally ran in, hid for a bit, while the wolves or Fetra, whatever you said, they fuck off, and then they walk a wee bit in. Then these lights appear. Then they find the ceremony. It's like, how close are these 2 in Seattle next to each other?
Yeah, why wouldn't the wolves just go in with all their guns and wipe them out?
At this point, we are talking about like a block. For you Americans out there, a
Yeah,
block.
so Ellie's pissed off that Jesse's here. It's like, what are you doing? Why did they send you to help us? I mean, have you fucking looked at the size of this? I mean, what do you mean, why to help? And then Jesse explains that nobody knows that they're here and that him and Tommy came the night after to rescue them. And this pisses off Ellie because obviously she doesn't think she needs rescued, or she thinks she doesn't need help or whatnot, because, this show's all about just fucking being woke and female empowerment, and women be able to do everything. Not just as good as a man can, but 10 times better. So, yeah, she's pissed off that Jesse's here. This is a change that they've made for the game. I mean, in the game, Tommy just goes off to get revenge on his own, and then they chase after him. It's just another way to make the men look weak. Jesse says that him and Tommy are here purely just to bring them back. So Tommy's not even here to get revenge for Joe. Just another change that is fucking awful in my opinion. Dina gets shot with a bow. Ellie tells Jesse to get her out of here and she'll draw them. Just like another. Oh, here I'll draw them away. Here you run and we'll have another scene where all eyes are on me, whatnot, and I'll get into like a chase where I'm not gonna die because I'm the main fucking character. Just threat doesn't seem important. Or nothing.
And she hides, right? And it's like, well, hold on. These scars were supposed to know this park like the back of their hand. They're like trackers, like Daryl Dixon times 10 out in the woods, and they just leave her. She's hiding behind a tree with her hood up, folks. Their search stopped right where she was, and they were like, she will lead us wherever we go. Fucking shite is the word. And as for Tommy, well, apparently he's here, but he's able. How much do you bet Tommy gets no offense in next time we see him and Ellie saves him or something? Just to demasculate him a wee bit more.
Could happen. Anyway, Ellie then runs and she comes across the hospital where Nora is, I guess, by accident, by fluke, maybe.
But this just felt crap. It's like, what's the fucking pace in here? One minute we're in this building where there's a special effect that they run across, a literal street, end up in a park, and then she runs out the park and down another street into the hospital. Are these all right beside each other?
Yeah, she gets into the hospital, bumps into Nora. Nora's like, oh, Ellie says, do you remember me? Nora's like, oh, you're her.
Just look at the conversation between these two and look at the state of them.
Yeah.
It's like, there's supposed to be two women here.
Ellie asks, where's Abby? Nora's like, I'm not telling you. Nora says you shouldn't have had to have seen that. Nora basically says something along the lines of, I can still hear them. I can still hear his screams. He deserved what he got.
Yeah, he's screaming like a bitch.
And then I remember seeing this scene in the game, and it was just done a lot better in the game. But literally, every time I see a scene from the show and you see the side-by-side comparison from the game, like the game is done 100 times better. And you would think with like you would just think with actual actors being able to play out the scene with their own likeness and their own facial expressions, you would think that a live TV series should be able to do scenes better than a game that is like using videos like motion caption and scans and skins, etc. And like voice, like obviously, but it's just like voice actors. But you'd think that the live TV series should do a better job of capturing emotion, but somehow it just does not. Yeah. It's the fucking opposite. It is mental.
It doesn't help the fact that Bella Ramsey sucked. I mean, the scene earlier as well with Dina, where she's like telling her like the whole story about her sister and mum getting killed by a raider, and Ellie's like, "Wow, well, I didn't know that."
Yeah. What? So Nora runs, Ellie gives chase. Nora then falls down this elevator shaft. There's a couple of wolves shooting at Ellie. They continue to give chase. Ellie then jumps down the shaft to go after Nora. For some reason, the wolves just, disappear. Is it because they didn't want to poke their head through this elevator because they thought maybe it was infested or whatnot? I don't know.
But also, right, the B2 is crucial because at the start, the prologue to the episode, right, the intro, she says B1 and B2 are compromised, right? So B2 in the elevator, that's where the spores are. But if they're if they're not wanting to go in here and shoot at Ellie because they think that's where they know that's where the spores are. Why is Nora here, literally killing herself just to get away from Ellie? Like, I know she's down an elevator shaft, right, and it's really not looking good for her. But you're running into a building or a part of a building that you know you're going to die. Is that you're going to get infected? You think she would make one last drastic attempt or something, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, they tried to make it look like this was her only way out. I mean, did she know about the whole building? I mean, you'd have to assume so. Not too sure.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If the guys chasing Ellie knew, and that's why they didn't go down and start shooting, well then
Nora should know, shouldn't she? I guess.
Yeah, but it's not like she went into a room filled with infected. She went into a room where as soon as you breathe it, you're dead. Like it was 100% death.
Is that how it works? As soon as you breathe it?
I'm pretty sure.
So you can't take one breath and be like, oh fuck, and just do a 180 and leave, no?
No, I'm pretty sure it's actually infected. That's the way it was explained.
I know, but does that not mean you could just open one door one day and die? If it was an infected room? I think you would need to be in it for like a certain period of time. I don't think you would inhale once and just actually confirm dead.
But I think that's the way it works. It's like getting bit once, a small bite compared to a big bite.
I think the bite's different, man. I don't think that's how it works.
Well, maybe if you just opened a door, right, and a wee bit of the air hitting you, okay, I'll accept that. But I think once you take one big breath in a room that's compromised, it's good night.
I think you're wrong, but anyway, who gives a fuck? Nora gets caught by Ellie. She first finds out Kim's son, by the way, Park. He's there. Died, I guess, infected now. Then she asks Nora, where's Ellie? Nora refuses to give her up. Ellie puts her gun away, asks her one more time. Nora doesn't give her up. Then she just grabs this pipe, starts hitting her over the legs with it, starts screaming. Screen goes to black, and then we get a flashback where Ellie wakes up and Joel's coming into the bedroom. He's like, "Hey, kiddo," and that's it. That was the end of the episode. So I believe that we're supposed to get a flashback sequence up next, where Joel takes Ellie out for her birthday. And I've seen the game version of this, and it's an awesome scene, but obviously the show is shite. So, and the show's Ellie and the show's Joel are crap. So this ain't going to be any good. But what I think's intriguing is they dedicated an hour and a half to a gay fucking romance between Bill and Frank. They dedicated episode 70, season 1 to the entire DLC just so it could end with a lesbian kiss. Are they going to dedicate the entire episode 6 to a flashback that shows how close Ellie and Joel were from a father-daughter relationship? Or is it going to get 5 minutes? That's what I'm wondering. I'm going to go with the latter.
It may not get 5 minutes, but you're right. It's not going to get the 90-minute feature Brokeback Mountain.
See if the next episode's a 100% flashback episode, I will be absolutely shocked. But for me, this show pushes agendas, and they don't want to push the agenda of Joel having a lot of love for his adopted daughter. So I don't see it happening.
Yeah, you're totally right. I've seen the thumbnail for the promo, and it is Joel on it. So I think we're definitely going to get Joel to some degree, but it's a disgrace that in season 1 you're getting 2 episodes dedicated to a gay and then a lesbian relationship, but the two main characters can't get a flashback episode. The main character can't even get a full flashback episode.
I still maintain that episode 3 killed the show.
Yep.
And it's not because I think the episode was overly bad. I just think that you've got a short 9-episode season. I don't think on the 3rd episode in you can derail the fucking story and have a flashback episode that has no relevance to the story going forward.
Yeah. No, totally.
To me,
and what people got to realise is it's not even a question of it being gay or straight episode. It took you out of it. It just fucking took you out of it.
See in The Walking Dead though, right? See in episode 3 of season 1, see if they had a whole episode dedicated to a Rick flashback, and it was just Rick you could be like, well, you know, Rick's the main character, so this will play into the story, his character development or whatnot. But Bill and Frank were having nothing to do with the show going forward. Oh, but Bill left him a note with a couple of guns. I'm like, and you need a fucking you need a 90-minute longest episode of the series, by the way. You need that.
There's a universe, right, where there's the guns in the note is the only time we see Bill and Frank, and that's it. That's the only reference to them. See season 1. It could have been an 8-episode season. Yes or no?
Aye.
You just completely scrap that episode. Didn't need to happen.
Well, I mean, I think it needed to be about a 16-episode season, like, to fit in the game if you wanted to do it properly, because it felt rushed.
My point is, you could literally just scrap the episode. No, it doesn't matter.
Plus, I mean, they didn't even have a good relationship. Like, it was like toxic, you know. Like, Frank guy didn't even fucking like him. Frank guy was just kind of like staying there for protection. He fucking hated the guy's guts, but you know, in the game, in the series, they make it like it's this fucking never seen love romance before. Embarrassing. Anyway, guys, next episode we'll get Joel. If we get him for the full episode, I'll be absolutely shocked. I think you're getting a 5-10 minute whack. That's my opinion. Let's know your opinion.
It's crazy
down below.
though.
Two episodes to go.
2 episodes to
and then
go.
we're gone for an. Yeah, that to me that's
doesn't bother me though. Keep it off the screen as long as
that doesn't bother me. Like, but Jesus Christ, what are we doing here? I think that people need to look at, I don't know, Hollywood or whatever in general and go, why is everything so fucking lazy now? How can somebody think that producing a 7-episode show, and I mean, and this came out almost like 2.5 years after season 1. I just don't understand how people can think this is acceptable. And then, you're probably going to be looking at summer, maybe 2027 before you get season 3. And how many episodes is season 3 going to be?
Yeah, and you're saying summer, like, I mean, you don't, you genuinely don't know. It's like, it could be winter 27 or like fall 27. But see, what people need to realise is, like, that's a fucking long ass time, and that's just season 3 issue. Like, say they had aspirations of this going like 6 seasons. Do people really have like 12, 13 years? I mean, you could have started this show as like a 19-year-old and you're fucking finishing it well into your 30s.
See,
if they go down that route.
See, like in the 2000s and 2010s, were we spoiled? Was that just like a one-off period in TV series, or was that the norm? And for some reason, we've just got into this lazy era where
I think we've just got into this lazy woke era where, you know, it's all about making sure the talent and the actors and the actresses are treated safely and they get their time off and they get this. Well, back in the day it was more I think back in the day it was more a case of, oh my god, there's so much, like, there's competition, we want to strive to be the best, we need to fire this out with deadlines. But now it's all very much lenient.
I mean, you look at Dexter 2006, Sons of Anarchy 2007, I believe. Those shows.
Breaking Bad.
What year was Breaking Bad out?
2008.
Yeah. Alright, maybe Breaking Bad didn't last as long, but the point still stands, and I think they did kind of split the last season into 2 halves or whatnot. But these were shows that you were getting every single year getting released. Like, Dexter was 8 seasons for 8 years in a row, 12 episodes at a time. Sons of Anarchy, yeah, there was that one season you had 14 episodes. But they were 13 episodes every year, 7 seasons, 7 years in a row.
Yeah, but not also that. I mean, like, for Sons would start in September but end in December. And then you'd only have to wait like 9 months. Now you're having to wait. What was this? 2027 or something? You're waiting
about, you're waiting 27, 28 months. Anyway, guys, let's get into the rating.
I'll give it a 4.
4.
It wasn't anywhere near as woke as the last episode.
You know what, guys, it wasn't woke, but it wasn't good. I'll get a 4 as well. Till next time, let us know your rating down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!